Guys, back with another Portable Clint. I've known this guy in waiting rooms for a long time, but this guy got on my radar at a very young age. Guys, if you make a movie now, I'm kind of impressed, but you make a movie back then when the business was romantic, I'm very impressed, and this guy impressed me a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, Kyle T. Heffner.
Hey Clint, how are you?
Kyle, how are you, buddy?
I'm good, man.
We've seen each other many times in waiting rooms.
We have been waiting room friends, I would say, for many decades.
Many decades.
Many decades.
I don't think I've actually ever had the honor to work with you yet.
I was wondering about that, Clint. Did we ever work, did we shoot a Denny's commercial in a cave?
I shot a Denny's commercial, but in a parking lot.
Okay, you weren't in the cave one.
No, was it like a caveman type of person?
No, it was guys like, remember when that male bonding thing was really big and the
Sure.
It was like that was the theme, but it was in a cave. It was in the old Batman cave.
Really? Was it really?
Yeah, we shot the Denny's in there, around a campfire, and we were communing as men with our Grand Slam breakfasts. But you weren't on that.
I was not on that.
Okay.
We gotta wait for that 18-wheeler to go by.
Okay, wow.
Okay.
Beep, beep, beep.
Okay,
yeah.
Kyle.
Yeah.
I did some research on you.
Oh boy.
You started young in the business.
I did. I was very young. I was a young boy.
Young boy. How old were you when you first started?
I started, just acting in person.
Well, I always like to say, when did the bug hit you? But I guess I'm going to ask that question again. I was trying to stay away, but when did when did it get your attention? Like, hey, dude, I want that.
Well, I think I was sitting around the house, and I was always trying to make my mom or my parents or my family laugh.
Same here.
So you start doing impressions.
Sure.
Right? That's the go-to when you're 8, 9. You just start doing impressions. So you start doing that, and they're like, "What's up with this kid? He's like, he's not Jimmy Durante."
Right. What impressions are you doing?
I don't know. I think I did. Who did I try to do?
Did you do Jimmy Durante?
Everybody does Jimmy Durante. Everybody.
True. That is true.
So when you're an 8-year-old kid doing that kind of stuff, they go, "What?" So my mother put me in first a community theater, a community center kind of acting class, and it wasn't good. It was not good. So she called the Goodman Theater. I'm from Chicago. She called there and said, "Do you have a children's program?" And they said, "Not for your child." No, they said, "No, we don't have a children's program, but call this other theater." It was called the Jack and Jill Players of Chicago, and they called there, and I started there when I was about 11 years old.
Okay.
And I had terrible stage fright.
Really?
I used to throw up, actually, before. I remember we were doing a little operetta called Sunny, and I used to throw up before every performance. Now other people throw up.
Sure. That's a good one. That's a good one.
I switched it.
Yeah.
So then I did tons and tons of plays there, and then it was kind of the children's theater, that and Tom Thumb, but that was North Shore. But people would call there for people, so people would call there, "We need a kid for this educational film." So I would go and do an educational film. "We need a kid to be a supernumerary in the Lyric Opera of Chicago." So I think in 7th grade, 8th grade, and freshman year in high school, I did 3 operas with the Lyric Opera of Chicago.
Okay.
I did 5 operas over 3 years, which was
I don't think I've ever had an opera actor on here yet, so congratulations.
Oh, thank you. I did, supernumeraries are kind of like extras in the opera. You don't sing.
Oh, never mind then.
Yeah, no, in one opera,
Okay,
in fact, in Billy Budd, I actually made the children's chorus. But I didn't have to sing. I had 2 lines.
Okay.
And we did them as a chorus. One was, "Aye, aye, sir," which we said, all 15 kids.
All right.
And the other was, "Aye, aye, 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 aye." And so that actually got me.
That's nice.
Billy Budd's a great opera. There was something about being on stage with these magnificent opera stars. Like I worked with Marilyn Horne. She did one, and I think we did. I forgot which one we did, but anyway, just watching these grand. I'd watch a guy who was no taller than me backstage and he's wearing like 6-inch heels, and I watched him unfold and become just before the curtain, just before he went out. In fact, when I was doing Don Giovanni with I can't think of his name. Anyway, I saw him unfold and become this magnificent presence and walk out on it was a magnificent lesson.
Wow.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
Kyle.
After he hocked and spat for 20 minutes.
Okay, Kyle.
Yeah.
You did some big stuff at the beginning. I'm not saying you're still not doing big stuff, but tell me when did you start doing the big stuff? Like, I want to go ahead and let the cat out of the bag. Flashdance.
Oh, that's a cat.
That's a cat. So, but you on your bio it says you met an angel here in Hollywood. I guess my question is, when you come out to Los Angeles, do you know anybody first?
Well,
because I like who you say your angel is, and I'm trying to hold.
He is my angel. He is legitimately my angel now. Because he's gone along. But actually, I met him in Chicago.
Okay, you met him in Chicago before you moved out here.
I did. I was a senior in college.
And that person would be Gary Marshall.
That would be correct, sir.
Okay, go ahead. Tell me how you met Gary Marshall, who would be your angel.
Okay, Gary, he and I went to the same college, several years apart.
Okay.
And when I was a senior, I'd been doing this improv comedy show on campus called the Meow Show.
Okay.
People came out of it later after me, like Stephen Colbert and Julia Louis-Dreyfus, people like that.
Sure.
So, kind of like the hasty pudding of Northwestern University. And so Gary was coming back to campus to do some seminars and talk to students, and he's really helpful. He built a music school. He donated money. In fact, in every Gary Marshall project, you could, there will be a Northwestern t-shirt, pennant. If you look at every movie, there is a Northwestern go-to somewhere in the film.
That, man.
Yeah, go Cats, go Cats. So anyway, my senior year, I had done a video feature. I played the lead in it, and so one of my TV professor showed him that, I guess, and then we did a special sketch show, like a best of sketch show just for Gary, and I had done it for 3 years. I'd done it for 2, directed the 3rd year, and so we put that on for Gary.
Where is he in his career at this time when this is happening? Is he doing Laverne and Shirley yet?
At this point, he has 5 television shows on the air.
Which ones?
He had Happy Days,
Okay.
Laverne and Shirley,
Heard of it.
Mork and Mindy, Joni Loves Chachi, and there was one more, maybe with the monkeys. I don't know. It might have been something with monkeys.
Really?
Yeah, it might have been a monkey show. Yeah, but there was one more. I can't think of it. But anyway, he's at the peak. He's like,
And is this freaking you out that this guy is in the audience, that you're doing this stuff for him? Is it making you more nervous? Is it making you throw up?
No, not really, because we were so tight with the sketch stuff, and we didn't, when you're in college, you don't really watch TV.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I knew he was a big deal, but we really weren't that aware of everything that was going on, because you're just, you're not. In fact, the TV I had was a 9-inch, vertical TV from Sears.
Right,
so I really wasn't watching a lot of television. And you're just too busy. I'm working 2 jobs and going to class anyway. So we do this show, and then, we meet Gary, hello, whatever. I don't even know if I met him. I think I just left. So I'm walking through the cafeteria one day in the student union, and I see one of my TV professors, and he goes, Kyle, come here. It was, anyway, so he goes, Kyle, listen, I showed Gary a bunch of your stuff, and he's been asking about you. You should go, and they're interviewing him at the TV station, the school TV station. Why don't you go? Professor Costelli, that's where I ran into. So, why don't you go?
Well, he's an angel too for showing his stuff.
Yes, he was. Yes,
so
he
good
is.
for that.
Yes, he is.
Nice
Costelli, yeah, amazing guy. So Costelli says, go to the TV station and talk to Gary and say hello. He's been asking about you. I said, oh, okay, so I'll go. So I go over there, Kresge in the basement. So I go over there, and there's like 6 students deep, wrapped around him, waving scripts. Gary, Gary, Gary. And I walked in, and you're a college senior, you've done it all, you've seen it all. I walked in and I went, I'm not going to get in line for this guy. What if it was like TV Hollywood? I'm not going to stand in line for this friggin' guy. So I walk out. I leave.
Yeah.
And I'm on the stairs, the exit stairs, talking to some friends, and all of a sudden I feel this tap on my back. And I turn, and he goes, hello, Kyle, Gary Marshall, how are you? Nice to meet you. Listen, I've seen things funny, so if you ever move to Los Angeles, call, we'll sit, we'll talk, we'll do. So I went,
That sounds just like him, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Well, it's close. But I said, well, Gary, I'm planning to move there in September because
Were you really planning on moving there, or did that
Yes.
kind of make you go?
No, moving to Hollywood was my plan B.
Okay.
Plan A was getting into Second City, which I did not do. I had studied there for a year with Del Close during my senior year, thinking I would just segue from college directly into Second City. A bunch of my friends did, like Richard Kine and Tom
Kyle,
Virtue, but
wait,
yeah.
Hang on. Do you have any Del Close stories really quick on a side note, real quick?
Del Close, yes. In fact, I just watched a movie that a guy I'd done educational films with did a movie with Del in 1973, never released, called Multiple Choice, which was really interesting, which is all Del. Del's the total lead. No, I ran into Del. It wasn't at the peak of his teaching prowess.
Yeah.
He might have had some other issues.
Sure.
So, but one time I ran into Del.
Wasn't that always his issue? His other issues?
It could.
Okay, go ahead.
But yeah, he could catch rain in his
Right, sure,
with
sure.
holes in his arms. But anyway, so I ran it. I was going to class, and I stopped by the donut shop. There used to be a donut shop right on the corner of North and Wells, down from Second City. And I see Del, and he's standing there trying to pick out a donut. And his jacket is on upside down like this. And he's standing there. And I said, hey, Del. And he goes, hey, how you doing? I said, great, Del. What are we doing in class? Oh, it's going to be great. It's going to be great, Kyle. Well, let's go, okay? I'll see you there. So that's a Del Close story.
Okay, thank you.
So anyway,
we digress. Which is what I like to do.
Yeah, this is what Del was trying to do after he got his bear claw. So he couldn't get his bear claw going. So anyway, that was Plan A. Plan A didn't work, so I was like, okay, I'm going to go to L.A. And so I had to work 3 jobs, save up enough money to get out of here. So I said, Gary, I moved there. And he said, we'll call, we'll sit, we'll talk, we'll do.
Does he give you his number?
He said, somehow I knew it. I think he said call something. Or,
Okay.
Or maybe I had to figure it out. I don't know. So anyway, I get to LA, I move in, I moved down the street from...
Where did you move to? I'd like to know where.
I moved to Fountain and Laurel in West Hollywood because I could walk to the Comedy Store and do open mic night.
Awesome. Okay.
That was my plan. Very planned out. So I get there and I'm like trying to figure out how to find Gary. So I find get a number. I think he just said call my office at Paramount. I think that's easy enough to do. So I call and finally I get an audience, and I'm going to meet him at his office. He had another offsite office on Tahunga. So I think I called a friend of mine and I said, listen, I got this big friend of mine who's now gone along as well, Rick Bauer, and I said, I got this meeting with Gary Marshall, I'm nervous, I don't know what to do. He goes, and my friend goes, what is he like? I said, I don't know, I just read in TV Guide, he's got like a milkshake machine in his office or something. He goes, before you go to the meeting, go to Little Place, get a great milkshake, get 2 great milkshakes, a chocolate and a vanilla, show up at the milkshakes. I'm like, really? He goes, yeah. So I show up at Gary's office. I've got a little brown bag. I've got a chocolate and a vanilla milkshake in a little bag. So I show up at this massive massive office. So I go in and I'm like, hello, Gary. And I'm like this. He goes, what's in the bag? I said, well, I heard you like milkshakes. Would you like the chocolate or vanilla? I'll have the chocolate. So we sat there for an hour. We sat there for an hour sipping our milkshakes. And Gary,
Why? Wait, I'm curious. Why vanilla and one chocolate? Was it?
because I didn't know which one he liked.
Okay, I got you. Okay.
I wanted to. If he
I
wanted
thought the
vanilla-
guy said to bring those specific two because he likes to drink it. You know.
No, that way, if he wanted,
got
if he
you.
preferred
Gotcha.
one or the other,
Gotcha.
and
Gotcha.
I would take
Okay.
second.
Okay, so you're drinking the vanilla. He's drinking the chocolate.
Yeah, we're drinking
talking
the
for an
chocolate.
hour. Go ahead.
Yeah, we're talking, and we talked about. I don't remember what we talked about, but at the end of it, he says, "Listen, I'm my office. You can go and sit and talk. You can talk to my secretary. She's very cute." And so, but anytime you want to come, just come to the lot, call.
My
You can sit
goodness,
and
man.
talk, and I'm not there all the time, but I'll see you. If you want to come see any of the shows, come. So when I went to see Mork and Mindy countless numbers of times, or Happy Days, I would go, there would be a seat taped off with my name on it. It was unbelievable. It was just...
Kyle, I'm so jealous of that's what I love. I love older Hollywood stuff, man. Like
Yeah.
you don't hear that stuff today.
No.
There's heart to this story.
Well,
and
Gary
this
is a major dude, man. He was just... and not just me. He helped tons and tons and tons of people.
Why was he so nice to you? Just because you were Northwestern? But why was he nice to you? Willing to give you roll out the red carpet, anything you wanted to do? Come talk at his office, go to one of his shows.
I have no idea. I might have been a little funny.
Okay.
I might have been funny.
You are funny.
But for some reason he did that, and I can't say I know why. I worked really hard in college, and maybe that wasn't clear.
Okay, so let's. Okay.
It's really obvious, perhaps. So I would do that. I'd go see the shows. I'd drop in. He let me go have a general with set it up with Bobby Hoffman. Remember
Okay,
Bobby
sure.
Hoffman?
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Pyramid? That didn't go well. It didn't. I think I auditioned for Happy Days, maybe more, but nothing ever dropped.
Apparently, you weren't right for it. It wasn't nothing personal because if you were right for it, Gary would have just made sure you got the part, right?
Probably. Well, I think he deferred to Bobby or the other producers. I wasn't right, or I wasn't good, or I was too nervous. I don't know what it was. None of that happened. But when Gary decided to do his first film, which was Young Doctors in Love,
Who were the stars of that one? I remember it.
that
but
was
I don't
Michael
remember.
McKean, Sean Young, Michael Richards, and a cast like everyone from all the soap operas. Hector Elizondo, of course. George Firth was even in it, who was another Northwestern alum. The guy who wrote the book for Company.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
Tons of people.
Why Hector Elizondo in all of his movies? What's up with Hector? Is he a Northwestern?
No, I think Hector was his good luck charm.
Okay. That's what
Hector's
I want to be somebody's good luck charm. who
Yeah,
always
Hector was
gets
a good
put in
luck
stuff.
charm, and Hector. We recently they showed Young Doctors in Love as part of Gary's film series at Gary's Theater in Toluca Lake.
The Falcon, what's it called now? Is it
The Gary Marshall Theater.
Yeah, but was it a name before?
It was the Falcon,
Okay, go ahead.
across from Bob's Big Boy.
Sure.
So anyway, we did set her, and Hector was there. Also, Rick Overton was in it.
Yes, he was.
Harry Dean Stanton was in it.
Wow.
Tons of people, tons. People you'd always want to meet, are always in there. Tim Schreiner was in it. Anyway, so he decided to do this movie, but at this point, I'd been in Hollywood 2 years. I'd worked a series of odd jobs, and I was already despondent. I was like, oh my God, it's over. Nothing's ever going to happen. I've been here 2 years, and I'm still working odd jobs. And I ran into a friend of mine from college, Kim Lewis, and Kim was working on the film with Gary and pre-production. And I ran into her in Westwood. She goes, listen, Gary's getting ready to put this movie together. Got tons of people. Make sure, get us your picture and resume. And so I did that. And they called me in, and I auditioned and got it through that. And it was, I think it was 10 weeks of work.
Awesome.
10 weeks. It was wonderful. It was wonderful. And the producer of that film happened to be Jerry Bruckheimer.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Continue. Just keep on going, man.
Oh, okay.
No,
So
keep
the-
on going until we get to Flashdance.
Oh, okay.
Because,
So the Jerry Jerry produced Flashdance.
Okay.
And so he had just done Cat People, I think, before that. Anyway.
What's that girl's name who was in Cat People?
Yeah. Right.
Was that based on cats?
It was based on the horror film Cat People.
Okay.
The 50s film was a 50s film called Cat People. And people would turn into cats. There's like kitty litter everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like, get out of the cat box. It's like the dead coming to life out of a cat box. Anyway, so we finished Young Doctors in Love.
Are you thinking when you finish? Do you think that you're a movie star now because you just got finished working 10 weeks on a movie? What's your
No, I do
mind?
not. I do not, because I think I was a little flat in that film.
You felt flat?
I felt flat. I didn't. There was a lot I didn't get. A lot of it I didn't understand.
Is this all what you're thinking, or is this what people are telling you?
No, it's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
I felt flat, and I'm fine, but I wasn't. Because it was in the mode of Airplane, the film Airplane.
Sure. Yeah.
And I could have popped it a little more, but I understand that now. I did not then. But anyway, I thought I was a serious actor, and I was trying to be serious. So
I do want to swing back around about Marlon Brando.
Okay.
So don't forget that.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So, I go in and I read for. No, Jerry. Called me in to read for Flashdance.
How do you get this phone call? Why is he calling you? Is it because he saw the dailies on you in the movie that he just produced?
He was on the set every day.
So here you are feeling flat, but the producer thinks you're not flat because he's calling you in for his next film.
I guess so.
Okay, go ahead.
All right.
I'm just saying.
No, I know. Our
out,
self-perception.
Self-perception can ruin ourselves.
You've probably been through that.
I did this morning. What time is it? Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think I read once or twice, and then my parents came to visit from Chicago, and I put them in the car. I knew there was potentially a third callback with the director, with Adrian Lyne, but I didn't know when it would be.
And you have no idea, Flashdance, this is just another movie to you. At this point,
it's a job.
It's a job. There's no big deal about this movie. No special talk. Like, guess what? They're making Flashdance right now.
No.
There's nothing like that.
No, especially nothing.
Okay.
But I just think it's a job. It's a paycheck. I'm just trying to make a living. So my parents come to visit. I get them in the car, and I drive them to Vegas, right?
Okay, yeah.
I get them into the Flamingo, and I check my service. Remember the old service?
Yeah.
I check my service, and we're there at like 12 o'clock or whatever. I get them maybe 1 o'clock in the afternoon. My service says, you have a callback at Paramount at 5 p.m. today.
Welcome to Hollywood.
So I get them into the hotel room. I hop a flight back to LA.
I love it. That's great.
I hop a flight back to LA, and I get there. Now, I'd driven my parents all the way to Vegas. I put them in. I hopped on a flight. I got back. I'm a little tight. I'm a little nervous.
Yeah.
So the callback was in one of the bungalows on the kind of east side of the lot there.
When you go to Paramount to audition and stuff, do you walk by that just to say that's where I booked?
I'm not sure. I remember exactly.
Okay, go ahead.
But anyway, I kind of, if I'm over there, I kind of go, maybe it was, but it's probably gone.
Okay.
But it was a trailer kind of thing.
Okay.
So, I want to relax. So I start doing I'm outside the trailer, and I go way over in the corner, and I start doing some Tai Chi.
Really?
Breathing to relax and calm
I've always
myself.
wanted to do Tai Chi. Are you saying this helps you before auditions, Tai Chi?
Very much so. Very much so.
Okay.
Breathing, calm, hold the ball, show the monkey. So I'm doing all that in the corner, and then when I'm done, I'm calm, I'm centered. I go into the office, and there's this beautiful young girl there, a woman who became Jennifer Beals. And she's got a little bag of candy, and she gives me some. You want some candy? I said, I'd like some candy. Thank you.
Is she there for the audition as well, or is she there? Why is she there? Do you know why she's there?
I don't know why.
Okay.
I just go, this is a gorgeous young woman. She was only 18.
What kind of candy is she giving you?
They were like little hard rock ball, like rock, not rock candy, but like candy balls. I don't know, like,
Jawbreakers?
like a jawbreaker
Okay,
kind of thing.
okay, go
yeah.
ahead, go ahead.
I like a jawbreaker kind of thing. So they call me in, and she's still sitting out there, and I go in, and Adrian Lyne's in there. And he goes, "Oh, hello, Kyle. I'm Adrian Lyne. How are you?" I said, "I'm fine, Adrian. Nice to meet you." And Jerry's there. And he said, "I'm a little curious about something." I said, I said, "What's that, Adrian?" He goes, "Well, we were looking out the window, and we saw you over in the corner waving your hands all around." So I said, "Oh God," I was like, Adrian, I was doing some Tai Chi. I was just trying to relax myself before I came in here and get centered. Yeah, it was quite fascinating. So anyway,
Wait, Kyle, do you think that helped you? Like because they were watching you, they started becoming invested in you. Like, what is
Maybe.
this guy up to, man? Like, if you would have came in there before that, you were like, okay, oh, come on in. Okay, you read. Okay, thank you, and then that was it. But because they saw something, you being human and like you,
could be.
Yeah.
But it was all, happenstance. I didn't do it. I had no idea they could see me.
were you looking for the window of the office?
I was like, "Hey, right here." Oh yeah, I'm a serious actor. Oh boy.
Okay.
No, it was just what I needed to do.
Okay,
it was
wow.
all an accident.
Are you still doing Tai Chi right now?
I do yoga, a little Tai Chi, just like I kind of know which pieces to hit in order. Like before I'm doing a play now, and just before the play, I do a tad bit of Tai Chi just to get centered, a little yoga.
Okay,
just
okay.
to center
I'm
myself.
sorry to digress.
No, that's
again.
okay.
Yeah, but I've always been fascinated in that, and I've never done anything about it. But,
It's wonderful. I
Okay.
mean, you're such a wonderful actor.
Well,
you don't need Tai Chi.
well,
I
I
got to
do.
do everything.
Okay, no,
I
I
got to
need
do
it,
Tai
trust
Chi. I got to do everything to try to do. I got to do Krav Maga. I got to do. I got to try to do every trick I can to get centered.
okay, so he's asked you about it, and you tell him. What do you tell him?
I just say I would, I needed to get centered. I was
Okay.
calm. I took my parents to Vegas. I came back. I wanted to, calm. So we read, and then they brought Jen in, and I read with Jennifer, as I recall. And I think it was a matching thing, and they wanted to see if we had any chemistry.
Which is called a chemistry read. for
Yeah,
those
it
of
was a
you-
chemistry
yeah.
read, but I didn't know that's what was going to happen. I just heard show up,
Okay.
I had the old chemistry read, and then a couple of days later.
Well, hang on.
Yeah.
So you finished the audition.
Yeah,
You after that, do you jump back on a plane?
and go back to Vegas.
What are you thinking? Right. What are you thinking on the way back to Vegas? Are you thinking, did I book it? Are you thinking I blew it? What are you thinking?
I don't know. I'm thinking I got to get back to my parents in Vegas. I mean, I think I felt good. Jerry has always been so nice to me, and Adrian was so warm and human to me.
Do you think the distraction of your family being in Vegas and you having to do all that kind of got your mind off of being so nervous about the whole thing because you had so many things going on during this audition?
It could be.
All right. Okay.
It could be. You're intuitive.
Well, thank you. All right.
very good.
Well, I'm just saying because
A lot of insight.
I've seen things like I book things when I'm not so focused on it.
Right, I
When
see.
other things are going on.
Yeah.
Because I'm not
Oh,
just.
interesting.
Yeah. But anyway, I digress again.
No, we
So-
both need to stay really busy.
Yeah,
honestly.
exactly. So you get back and tell me how you find out that you booked this.
I don't remember exactly. I think I don't remember. I have no idea when I got the call. I didn't have an agent. So they just called me at home.
Okay, all right.
Or
So
called my service.
where do you go film? I'm sorry to make this so much
No,
about
no.
this, but those are one of those movies.
No, it's
That's
interesting.
like being in a Rocky type of film.
Yeah.
Anytime there's a feel-good ending like that ending, like people are inspired by it. It was such a great film, and you will always be a part of it. So that's just really cool in my book.
Yes, thank you. No, I feel incredibly fortunate. I get the job, and we shot. They had been in Pittsburgh, I think, and shot all the exteriors. The bar itself, Mobby's, was in downtown LA.
Okay.
And they just rented out an old bar that was empty, and the exterior was the interior. It was the same place. They just built this bar because we were in it for 5 weeks or 4 weeks or whatever. They shot all the dance scenes in that bar. So I show up on the set. I think I went a day early just to like meet everybody and
Yeah.
say, all that stuff, and that was fun. And
Are you calling Gary Marshall up and go, "Hey Gary, dude, thanks to you, this is happening to me"? Are you letting him in on all this?
I'm not sure I did. I was so young. I didn't know if that was, I may have. I don't know.
Okay.
But I also may have been so young that I didn't realize that Gary probably had a hand in it. That Gary probably said to Jerry, "Why don't you take a look at Kyle?" Which he probably did.
Yeah.
Which he probably, because we know now that's how it all works. But probably he had a lot to do with it.
You go to the first screening of it. How do you? When do you first see Flashdance?
Well, actually, the first time I saw the trailer, I was at the Fox in
Westwood.
In Westwood, that's where we had the premiere. Actually,
Okay.
So I'm in Fox and I see the trailer, the first teaser.
Were you? I'm sorry. Were you? Did you go see a different movie by yourself with some friends? And
Yeah,
you
I went to
just so
see a
happened-
different movie with some friends.
Did you hear that the preview was playing? And
I
that's
had
why
no
you-
idea.
Okay, so you're sitting in the theater with your friends, and
Yeah.
then all of a sudden your preview comes on. What's that like?
The audience was in hysterics, and I thought, "Oh no." Oh no! Oh no! Because actually, when I showed up on the set the first day, that's what I was going to say. I showed up on the first day, and the prop guys I'd worked with on Young Doctors, or some guy, I forgot what crew it was. And I see these guys, and they're like, "Hey, Kyle." They're like, "Hey, man, get another job as fast as you can, man, because this movie is going nowhere."
Oh, that's always nice to hear.
But it was relaxing. I
Yeah,
thought,
okay,
in a way, it was like,
yeah.
oh. I'm not in the next big thing. I'm just do the best I can. So I worked hard, did the best I could, and so flash forward, and I'm seeing the first trailer. The audience, welder by day, dancer by night. The audience was on the floor laughing sarcastically. It was not a happy. It wasn't like, "Yay, we can't wait to see this." It was like, and I thought, "Oh no, it's not going to be anything."
Were you in the preview?
I wasn't. I don't think so. It was a teaser, early teaser.
Okay.
But as those guys told me that they didn't think the movie was going to go anywhere. But after I watched one dance scene being filmed. I think going on a manhunt maybe. And
Is that where she does the water on her?
No, I think it was the one with, not with Jennifer, but with Tina Tech.
Yes,
When
okay.
Tina Tech's dancing.
Yes.
And I watched that being shot. She was so gorgeous. Anyway, they were all
Sure.
gorgeous. I watched that being shot, and I was watching the monitor, and they did all these cool things with the camera, and it looked so great. And this looks good, though. This looks really good. And Jerry was there every day, every hour. He was always whispering to Adrian. They were always whispering over, they were keeping everything on budget and keeping the look right. So I thought, then I see the teaser, and they're laughing, and I thought, oh no. And then I went to the premiere at the Fox, and that was just mind-blowing. To go into this premiere anonymously and coming out having everyone stare at you.
That's what I want to experience. That's the reason why I wanted this whole story.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what it did for you.
Yeah.
You went in unknown, you came out, everybody's staring at you.
Yeah. And famous people are coming up to me and,
Really?
nice performance.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Kyle,
It was pretty stunning.
great.
It was stunning. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
we're gonna start kind of speeding through a little bit
Okay.
now because we
You
got.
only
I just
got
spent
5
30
minutes.
I know it. You would
Okay.
think. Kyle, what happens after that? What do you think is going to happen, and what actually happened?
Okay. I think I'm thinking, oh my God, I've done it. This is it. I'm just gonna spend the rest of my life making movies, and this is gonna be perfect. So after in between Young Doctors and Love, I've actually never really done that much. I really have never done a lot of work. I mean, just stuff here and there. But I after Young Doctors in Love, and I did an episode of Facts of Life.
You have some great television credits at the beginning, which I'm like I said, I'm a fan of all the old stuff, man.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why I love it all. So Facts of Life.
I did it, yeah, where I got to belch in Mindy Cohn's face.
Okay, all right.
I could belch on cue. They gave
Sure.
me the job. So after that, I did after Flashdance, I did an episode of The Jeffersons, which was probably one of my best sitcom performances. I think it went really well, and I had seen Sherman Hemsley do Pearlie with Robert Guillaume in Chicago, and once I told Sherman that I'd seen him do Pearlie, I could do no wrong. He thought I was just. He goes, "You saw me do that?" And I was like, "Yeah, you were amazing." And he was like, "Oh." So that was a great gig.
Smart move, man.
Well, I was honored to be. He was wonderful. He was wonderful.
Where did they film The Jeffersons?
Universal.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure it was Universal.
Kyle, I could tell you where I filmed every little bitty thing I've ever filmed. I'm just a freak like
but
that.
You've done
I know,
so much.
but still, because like I love everything about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just, but I dig that you don't really recall.
No, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Because I think it wasn't the same.
I just never seen I don't know if I've ever seen a live studio audience at Universal Studios. That's what I'm trying to think.
But I know I shot Facts there. That was a studio audience. I know I shot Facts of Life there because I got arrested on the back lot.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did.
What do you want? Tell me about that.
Well,
man.
it was like during lunch, and we were like, let's go look at the back lot. It was like me and...
Tootie?
No, it was me and the we're three college students. One guy who became a pretty good director, and then Harrington and Pat Harrington's son, Michael Harrington.
Okay.
Later was my tennis coach. So we were back, and we were walking around the back lot, and one of the security guards pulls up on we were down there by the thing where the shark comes out,
Sure,
the lagoon.
yeah.
We're not
where the tour goes
right,
through. So
we're just wandering around like
sure,
vagabonds.
Sure.
And the cop pulls up, the security guard, and he goes, "What are you guys doing back here?" I said, "Well, we're on a break, and get in the cart. We're going to the office." So they take us to the office, and we're
I've
in
never heard of
security.
anybody getting this happening to. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
so we got taken into the security office, and I'm like, God, we got to get back to the set. We're going to be late. So I just became, I took the offense. And I went, listen, we're working on a show here right now. What's your name? What's your number? I said, because if we're not back at 1:30, you're the one who's going to answer for it, okay? We're going to be late for the set.
Does this attitude have anything to do with Flashdance right now?
No, it just has to do with, I don't want to be late.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
So I got like that with the guy, and they went, oh, okay, you guys just go. So I finally got him to let us go.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, I did digress a little bit.
That's what I love doing on this.
Yeah.
So I asked what happened. What did you think was going to happen, and what happened?
Oh,
so
okay.
you started doing TV.
Yeah, I did. Well, I did not doing TV. I did The Jeffersons.
Well,
and then I got a call. And it said, I think this was after Flashdance. Gene Wilder would like to meet you.
Gene Wilder.
Gene Wilder? Really? I was like, really? Okay. I think this was after Flashdance. It might have been after Runaway Train.
Kyle,
but
some
anyway,
of the
I don't
most
remember.
talented people are digging you or going after you. I mean, wow, man.
I was.
Okay, go ahead.
I just thought, oh, this is just how it works.
Yeah.
So I think this was after Flashdance, but I'm not sure. Anyway, so I'm to go to Gene's house in Bel Air and have coffee with him.
He must really want to meet you to invite you to his house. It's not to his office, but a house.
I guess so.
Okay,
I guess
go
so.
ahead.
So I go there, and we sit there, and Gilda comes out, and she brings us some tea and cookies. And,
oh, man.
It was wonderful. Clint,
People
was
bringing you
wonderful.
candy, cookies. I mean, my goodness, Kyle.
I'd like a nice croissant. You got a crawler. You got a crawler.
Okay,
So-
she gives you cookies. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
so we sit and talk, and I don't remember what we talked about, but after about an hour, Gene says, "Would you like to be in my movie, Woman in Red?" And I said, "That sounds wonderful, Gene. I'd love to do it. Thank you so much."
Wow,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. Pretty amazing.
Yeah, that is amazing. Okay, really
Stunning.
quick. Anything else about that I need to know about?
No, that
I mean,
was it.
that's
we
a
did
great
Woman
story.
in Red, and,
Yeah, dude.
you know, that was super fun. I was working with one of my idols. I just, you know, it's like a constant pinching myself. That all that time
Yeah.
was a constant pinching, and you know, and then after Flashdance, I'd meet, you know, I'd go somewhere, wait for a friend, and have a beer, and there's a guy sitting next to me, and you know, it's like a regular businessman type thing, and he's going. And it's like a regular businessman.
Yeah.
He goes, "You were in Flashdance." I said, yeah. He goes, "Can I buy you a beer?" I was like, "Okay." I didn't know then that when people bought you a beer, then they owned you for an hour.
Wow, that's true, huh?
So this is a regular businessman. Told me he'd seen it 35 times.
Really?
And it had changed his life.
I mean, I mean, I could totally see that. Wow, Kyle,
Yeah.
that's awesome, man.
Yeah, so he's like businessman by day, exotic dancer by night.
Kyle, really quick, dude. Side note, really
yeah,
quick.
yeah.
Why does Marlon Brando talk about you in his book?
Well, oh, you saw that. Well, it was a movie I did called, it's a movie I did called Runaway Train.
Sure.
With Andrei Konchalovsky was director, and John Voight, Eric Roberts. Voight and Roberts both got nominated for Academy Awards for that, and nominated for the cinematography as well. And Rebecca De Mornay. So anyway, I guess Marlon Brando liked that movie. I don't think it was anything. I'm honored to be in the book, but I don't think that Kyle's got something. I don't think it was that. I really
Well,
just
dude,
think.
I mean, everyone
I just
else is thinking that, so
I-
why wouldn't he think
I
this?
think it was just. I don't think. I think it was just the cast list, and he had his assistant or whatever. You know, put the first four names from the movie. And I think I slid in. I really
Okay,
do.
well,
I don't think.
Hey, you can cut it either way. You're in it.
I am in it. I am
So
in it.
that's cool.
However, I think it was an accident.
You do Seinfeld.
I do.
Tell me about Seinfeld. I always get jealous when there's a group of people who made it to Seinfeld, and you're one of them. You played. Go ahead, tell us what
That
you
was
did.
the
in Seinfeld.
Bizarro George episode in Bizarro Jerry. I thought I would never do the show because
Okay.
of my very slight resemblance.
But little did you know that that's
Jason
what
Alexander.
brings you to the set.
Yeah, but actually, I think what happened, a friend of mine who had been a very famous comedian about a year before had died, Dennis Wolfberg, very dear friend.
I don't know about Dennis Wolfberg. I want to look
if you
him
looked
up.
him up,
I will.
brilliant. And he died. He had the same manager as Jerry, and George Shapiro was also the producer of Seinfeld. And I went to Dennis's funeral, and they had the reception, and I was at the reception, which was actually Dennis was my neighbor. I live in a townhouse, so the reception was actually in our townhouse, kind of.
So you really didn't go. You just went downstairs.
No, I didn't. No, I went
Okay,
to the.
go ahead,
I
go
went to
ahead,
the
go
burial.
go ahead.
He was a very, very dear friend, a wonderful man, and you know, a lot of famous comedians were there because Dennis was a pretty famous comedian at the time, and Jerry was there, and I remember being by the buffet table with Jerry, and you know, kind of nodded at him, you know, and I'm always wondered, did that put a seed? Did he like look at me? I don't know.
Yeah, no, yeah.
But I don't know. But anyway, I go to the audition and I do it, and you know, I get the job. And it was interesting because I was on the set and I see Julia Louis-Dreyfus, who I missed in college by a year, but I was graduated with her husband, Brad Hall.
Yeah.
And so I knew them socially through school stuff. And Julia says, "Kyle, what are you doing here?" I said, "I'm in the episode. I'm Bizarro George." She's like, "Get out of here!"
Did she actually do that?
No, but it's
okay, I
funny.
would have loved it. Yeah, no, that's funny anyway.
But yeah, I just did the show, and
Fun week.
yes, comedy is serious business. on that set.
Is there? I guess there's kind of something that happened on the set. I mean, what? There's
No,
a
I just
little hesitation.
Well, my hesitation is, I don't know. Actors' brains started fooling with me, and I got on the set and I started doing something a little different, which wasn't
What they wanted.
funny.
Okay.
It wasn't funny.
Is
That's
this-
basically the bottom line. It wasn't funny.
Are you thinking this, or are they telling you this?
Well, I'm sitting there, and after we did, Jerry's sitting there with the director, and Larry David was off the show at that point. He
Okay.
had left the show at that point. And he and the director are talking, and they're going, this just isn't funny. This isn't funny. I don't know why it's not funny. We had Piven on. Piven was funny.
Man, yeah, they're telling you everything.
Yeah,
You're overhearing everything you don't want to overhear.
No, I'm not over. It's them and me. It's not overhearing. I'm triangulated into, and I thought, I got to get funny. I have obviously taken the wrong tack. Let's come about and pull in the sheet and let's go a different direction. And so I did, and it worked out better. I saved my job.
Okay. And so when you did Curb Your Enthusiasm, there's no connection between the two.
No, that's connected to my preschool, my kids' preschool.
Really? Why?
Because my daughter was in preschool with Larry Charles' kid.
There's so much stuff that happened. You're right. This happens a lot in Hollywood.
It does.
Kids bringing business together.
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah. So that's why I wanted my kids to go to Harvard Westlake. I would have had a series by now.
That's funny.
So Wildwood, come on, the center. Let's have our kids. But I couldn't afford this. But So I'm at a kids party with all the kids from preschool, and we're up at Beverly, one of those canyons, and you're walking around a reservoir, and there's this guy in black pajamas with a really long black beard, and it's Larry Charles, and we're talking. I said I'm an actor, and told him the stuff I'd done, and he said, well, I do this show Curb. You want to do a Curb? I said, I'd love to do a Curb.
Why is he just so quickly, do you want to do a Curb? I mean, why
well, he said, would you be interested? He didn't actually, he said, would you be interested in doing a Curb? I said, yeah. He said, I'll see if I can get you.
Okay.
And so he got me.
And you just met him right then and there?
Yeah, we'd been hiking. We were hiking for like a half an hour.
Okay.
And I gravitated to the more bohemian type person.
Sure. And he's always hanging out in his pajamas, correct?
Yeah, pajamas, long beard, black jag.
In glasses.
And glasses, yeah. He's a very smart guy, really, really funny guy. Great guy. Anyway, they called me and I auditioned and I, improvised with Larry, and then I got that job. I mean, who knows? Who knew?
When you were driving out here to move out to Los Angeles, what did you want to accomplish in Hollywood?
Well, I wanted to have a career. I wanted to make a living as an actor. I wanted to get really good. I wanted to be a good actor. I wanted to be able to try to do the things my idols had done. I have lofty ambition.
What is it that you want to accomplish now in this business? And don't say continue to work, please.
Yeah. I feel as if I'm in a second act. I'm not a young, live boy with curly hair anymore.
But you know what the good thing about this business is? You're just as valuable as you were the day you drove in. I mean, you still could book the biggest part of your whole career. Still today.
That could be. I mean, I just saw Judy with Renee Zellweger. What an amazing performance. I mean, at this point in her career, to do that for, I don't know if you've seen it.
I haven't, but I've been actually wanting to, because she looks
this is a performance that is absolutely thrilling. It's stunning and it's inspiring, because this is not the beginning of her career. This may have been at a point where she's an also ran, and then she pulls this off. It's brilliant. It's absolutely spectacular.
Okay, I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, you got to see.
What's the worst time in Hollywood for you?
Worst time?
Not personal.
Not personal. Career.
Where you're really thinking about throwing in the towel. You're thinking, man,
okay,
what?
I just talked about it because I just ran into the director. Remember the mini-series or limited series for HBO called Talk Show, or
Yes.
about the Letterman
Yes, absolutely.
Leno
yes.
thing.
Yep.
I went in an audition for that. Betty Thomas was directing. I just ran into her I went to see Bill Irwin does Beckett up there. And I ran into her. I know her kind of casually through another friend. So I said, "Hey, Betty," and it reminded me of the time, again at Universal. I go into Universal.
Are you sure it was
And
Universal?
Possibly.
Go ahead. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Everything, that's my default position. Oh, it was at Universal, I remember. It was the Black Tower. I think it was.
Okay.
So I that's so funny, Clint. So I went in and I read it, and I remember I was so bad. I was so uncentered. I obviously had not done my Tai Chi or my yoga. I was uncentered. Too much coffee. You also, when you're young, you don't understand your body. You don't understand you need to have a sandwich.
Yeah,
You need to
yeah.
hydrate. You
Sure.
need to drink water. A lot of that stuff happened where I didn't understand what was going on with my body, and it would take me off center. I remember coming out of there and just pulling over to a parking space and weeping and thinking, why am I even doing this? I've been studying for 25 years. I've been doing this for a lifetime, and I still can't go in and pull off an audition.
Sure.
That was one of the low points. That was a bad. I didn't get the job.
I've pulled over. I've pulled over before and cried. I mean, after an audition.
Yeah.
It's amazing that brings us to this business can bring.
Which
somebody.
one for you? What happened?
It was somewhere in Glendale. Like by Glendale. Those studios by the water, by the ravine. I don't know.
Kind of, yeah.
Anyway,
It was
I just
Universal.
remember it was Universal. Thank you. I just remember that, and then I booked something really big right after that.
Of
So
course,
it's like
yeah.
you have that breakdown before you have that breakthrough, as they say.
Yes.
What's the best day in Hollywood for you? What's the best time or day for you?
I guess. I mean, coming out of that premiere was one of the
It sounds
high
wonderful,
points.
man.
I get a lot of high points now because doing well at the audition makes me feel really good. Like prepping for it, doing well, whether I get the job or not. Coming out of there and going, yeah, I did exactly what I wanted to do. But I think that premiere, was the high point. Actually, one of the funny high points is right after I finished Runaway Train, my wife and I, we weren't married at the time. We had booked a trip to Europe, and we go to Europe, and we're going around, and we go up on. We're in the Eiffel Tower. We're at the top of the Eiffel Tower.
The one in Vegas?
No, the one in Universal. But and so I go. So we're at the top of the Eiffel Tower, and there were a bunch of like Japanese schoolgirls there in little uniforms, and we're gazing at all of Paris, and the little Japanese schoolgirls see me, and they recognize me from Flashdance, and they all want to take pictures with me. That was a high point.
Yeah.
That was a strange, like, really? I'm at the top of the Eiffel Tower, and these girls from Japan. I mean, that was very sweet.
Yeah.
But usually now I just chase the zone. I want to find the zone. That's why I started. That's what I've come back to, is chasing the zone in the work, the connection, the having it all meld together.
Yeah.
You know, finding that when we do that, that's our happy moment. That's our happy time.
I was going to ask you the last question, which
Yeah.
was, what is a piece of acting advice that you could give, or some advice that you could give in this business? Because you've been at it for a long time.
Yeah.
But I kind of liked your answer right then. Finding that zone is what we're all trying to do, right?
We're trying to find the zone because I think the goals are intrinsic as opposed to extrinsic. They are. I've been all the way and back. I've chased the extrinsic goals. I've chased, thinking I was going to be rich and have a house in Malibu and all that, and I've done fine. But now I just want to find that zone where I feel perfectly in sync with the other actors and with the material. And I would, if I was going to give advice, I would, which I don't think anyone should listen to me, but I
would. You've been at this for a long time,
have
and
been
you've
at it a long
always
time.
and you're successful at it.
I've been doing it a long time.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, but continue.
But I would say chase that intrinsic goal of being in the zone, like when a pitcher, throws a no-hitter, when a quarterback can do nothing but hit his receiver. When my son was a pole vaulter, when he would go and do a perfect pole vault, a perfect vault. And my daughter, who's a wonderful elementary school teacher, when I've gone in and watched her and how she's able to get all of the kids looking at her and engaging all of them, that's the goal. That's the chase.
Yeah.
That's the bunny, that we need to chase, because that's why I started, and that's how I'm gonna finish.
Kyle, I'm impressed with you. I seriously thank you
Clint,
so much for the sit down.
I've been so honored for you to ask me to do this, and we've been audition friends for so long. It's really fun going to auditions and see people you've been seeing for so many years. We have a kinship.
Yeah, we sure do.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got one last favor.
Yes, sir.
Will you tell everybody out there goodbye?
Goodbye. Oh, where's the lens?
No, you're doing
so
good.
I don't look cross-eyed.
Yeah.
Goodbye. Thanks for listening. This is Portable. Are you Portable Clint?
Portable Clint.
Yeah, you're Portable Clint.